Welcome to Trading Lounge and the daily stocks for Tuesday, September 14th. So, with Amazon here, as you may know, I'm still unsure about the large account, but what we do have here by the looks of it is that we have 5 waves in this little move through here. So after a correction, it means that we should get another 5 waves. So that's what we're looking at. I understand this correctional pattern here can be counted differently, and perhaps this count that I've got is not correct, but that's okay for the time being as well, because as I mentioned, we can just work with the intraday patterns. So one of the things here is that this particular level here, the 3,500, the 500 is the important point here. As you can see, it's important, so 5 is the second strongest number. So if we get a nice tested support here after, having a correction here, then we can look to go to the upside at that point. So in a bit of a nutshell, we're looking for the classic trading levels pattern. We've got the arrival, the reaction, the first high above the level, and we've got this correction here. So we really want to get support on top of this level. Now, we may also be able to get in a little bit earlier, and that's what I wanted to talk about today as well. So let's just go to the tick chart and work it from that point. And here we are. So we don't need that now. So we've counted. It's quite a nice 5 waves when we look at it as 1 and 2 here, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the third wave, the fourth wave, and the fifth wave. Now, I have to say here, from, as I mentioned yesterday, talking from this low to to these highs, really, it does appear that there's like a little extra wave in there, but I'm going to have to move this to this point here. And this here can be counted down as an A and a B and a C to this point. So we could just move straight up from here. So we could look at it as 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 as a 5-wave structure. Or we can look at it as a 3-wave structure for wave A here. This is sort of coming into our old count, and then an A wave, a B wave here, and then a C wave here for the B wave. So an A and a B and a C wave. Now, it's not going to make any difference, but like what we'll do is, like when we first started down here, we thought that, okay, let's trade long and let's go and see what we got. So we got our first 5 waves. So we knew that we would get, at this level, we would get another 5 waves, and that stretched out nicely to look like a third wave, and that sits nicely as a third wave. So a fourth and a fifth wave here is quite fitting. So the classic trading levels pattern is the arrival, the reaction, the first high above the level, and then the corrective pattern here, and then we go long on the 35. So in a way, we're looking for another little classic trading levels pattern in this space here. It will be rather small, but this is 100 ticks, but if you go down to 10 ticks, then you'll see that. But also too, just down in this low area through here, if I just go to 10 ticks, we can have a look at the level that's in that space. So this is the move down. We can see that this is all the same nature, this particular move here, and then this storm in the teacup here, this maelstrom is a different, it's different from this one here. So they're 2 different separate legs, which I'm thinking is the A, the B, and the C. So obviously down here we can see that this is group 2 here, 65, 72, and 80. We can see that it was support, and it's retested the 35 here and failed at that and pushed it down. And now it's really finding group 2 as not the support but the resistance here. So what I was thinking is that if the market can prove to us it's strong, then it would need to find group 2 here as the support. So finding in the first, well, obviously the 65 is the first, as we can see here, but I normally use the 72. So 3472 as support here could trigger, as a little classic trading levels pattern, could be the first position that we could move in on, and then looking to add on top of 35. Now, when we're on 35 here, if we put group 1 in above the 35, just roughly here, which will be 10, 20 and 30, and the next one's the midpoint, the 50 here. So the idea would be to try to build positions in through group 1 here as well. Okay, so hopefully you could end up with 4 positions in here, so taking your original bet size and splitting it into 4, and that way you can manage the risk and the exposure safely, and also if you want to build a bit more, then you can do that. So yeah, so I'll just leave it at that for the time being, just to rehash that. So it does appear that we've got 5 waves up here, so that means after a correction we'll get another 5. The question is that correction finished? It would be finished, and the safe trade would be on the 3500. So moving in on group 2 there is risk with that, and that's why you'll just do a very small position and just try to edge yourself forward in that. But I'm looking at the other markets as well. And they're all having their corrections as well. Most of them appear to be complete or just about. So even if this one here has another little move down through here and then climbs back on group 2, just do the same thing again as well. You know, that's what you're looking for at that point. So just build it, even if there is another little low there. Alrighty, so that's Amazon. And let's move to the next one, which is Google. So you can see in this case here, we've really got quite a nice A wave coming down here in 5 waves, and an A, B and C here. They're a bit dodgy in here, I know that, but all said and done. And then we can see that we've got this nice move down through here. So as an A wave, a B wave and a C wave here, that looks pretty complete to me at this point. That's why I think that Amazon could push up from here. Now, this is the midpoint here, the 2850. If that became the tested support, you could also go long on that there as well. So we could put in, I'll just draw a line at the top there, but if you break that down into 10 ticks, you'll be able to look at this. And this Google one's important to me because the pattern is really quite sort of clear. So this is where I kind of see the NASDAQ and the S&P finishing once this is finished here. So even, you know, the S&P and the NASDAQ is in a bit of a guessing game but at the moment, but we can see here with stocks, especially if this, like, to make this like official, so to speak, once this B wave top gets breached here, that means that it confirms this as being a corrective pattern here. The C wave is a little bit sharp, really, compared to the A wave here. I would have liked to see it on a bit more of an angle for a C wave, but yeah, we'll see how we go with that. So, so Apple here is, we're looking at 2 things here. One is that wave 3 top being in place here. So we're looking at the first 5 waves down. So we'll get the first 5 waves down, and then this move up here will be 3 waves, and then this will be 5 waves. Now anything below that 5 wave structure here as an A and a B and a C, then we can look at being, we'll confirm that wave 4 is being in place. Do you want to start shorting this? Well, we don't want to short the first leg here because if it's just 3 waves, then the market could move up from that point. If it's 5 waves coming down here, that means we'll get 3 waves back up and we'll get another 5 down here. So we could look to short it at this point. We may have to cover a very small loss or break even or very small profit to you know, to stay in this to get if it's going to go down further than that point, or we can just wait for this move here to come into play and wait for this, if it's going to go down further, we'll just get a little ABC pattern here, and then we'll break lower at that point, so we can look to move through on the short side at that point. The thing is that, yeah, okay, we'll just see how that sort of plays out, but let's just go in because this is, you know, I understand that there's some people out there that would be very confident in a particular pattern that they've got sorted here, but I'm not that confident. So in it, I mean, I've done the best fit, but you know, we could be, all of this could be the 3rd wave here. It's not like we've, you know, because to get a 4th wave here, this 4th wave is rather small. compared to wave 1 and 2, and it hasn't really, it hasn't really broken out of the trend line which wave 4s do. So it would be quite easy to put this wave 4 to here and then this wave 5 to here. That's why I'm looking at this possibly being a wave 4. It's a bit out of sync with the other markets, but it's okay to track 2 counts. It's okay to be cautious and look at both sides and then finally make a decision when the time is right. So that's kind of what I'm doing there. So in this instance, so from the top there as possible wave 5 or possible wave 3 in there, we'll just keep it open at this point in time, and wave 5 would be over there. So far, yesterday we were counting down as 1 and 2 and 1 and 2, and then we had this nice third wave down, and fourth and fifth for the third. So I don't know if this wave 4 should just go here, or we're going to have some sort of A wave, an A, B, C for the B wave and a C wave here, and then go down again from this point here to finish that wave A off. Or are we going to just have another little move down here to have some sort of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, some dodgy sort of fifth wave ending here? I don't know how the story ends just here, but once it is finished, because we've got 5 waves down, well, we don't have 5 waves down yet because we only have really these are the lows here. So that could be counted an A and a B and a C there as well. So we'll just see. Patterns can get skewed by large numbers, and this is obviously what's happening here to a point. So once we do have that A wave in place, then all you need, if you see a new low come into play, then I'll just take it down to the 80 because I know that the market's going to be a little bit bullish. So the 50-60% retracement level at this point would be somewhere in here, and that would be our little ABC pattern to the upside. But I don't have that 5 waves down yet, so we could just have this down as an A and a B and a C wave down to one of these lows here, and then up for 1 and ABC back for 2 here. So that's also possible as well. So there's a few things here that need to be resolved yet. We're not in a bear market yet, even though I'll just put those there to remind us that that we were talking about it, and not that we're going to do anything on this. I mean, if the 150 became the tested support, it's tried to get support, but it's failed on there, hasn't it? So it hasn't sat on there. If it shot up like this here, for instance, then that would be the first high above the level. You could go long above that. Then you got the second high here. So that's never really been sort of breached. So you kind of want to, if this is going to go up here, you need your own classic trading levels pattern over here. You don't want to use these previous ones over here because they're all connected, but it's not the same leg. It won't have the same momentum in it. So just be a bit mindful of those little things. But that's sort of where we are. If we get 5 waves here, then we'll get a B wave, and then we'll get a C wave here at least. If we get 5 here, that means we get a correction and another 5, but we can't prove just yet we've got 5 waves here. It can just easily be an ABC pattern to this point with wave 1 and 2 there. So we need to be careful, but if you wanted to go long, you need a classic trading levels pattern sitting on top of the 150 there for that. Just going to remove these. I'll just get squashed up when I close the program anyway. Okay, that's Apple and Square. Well, with Square here, as you know, we're looking at a top being in place. Now, it's also possible as well that I've counted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up here. That could just be wave 1 here, and then we're coming back for wave 2 in this space. And this would be the A wave, the B wave, and the C wave, and then we just go straight up from that point. So that's all possible because we don't have a larger 5 waves down. We don't have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 here. If we had 5 waves here, then we know that we would get 3 here and 5 over here. We don't know that yet. So this is a point here where it can get change directions on us, and it's in the 50-60% box, which would expect support there anyway. So we don't have to panic too early. just on the tick chart here for a moment. Let's just get a little bit more data in. So we've got the A wave here, the B wave here, or wave 1 and 2. It's kind of heading down nicely as a third wave, you know what I mean? It's not lazy compared to wave A here. So it's got the personality of a third wave. That's one important thing. We're counting this down yesterday. We were looking at it as wave 1 and 2 here, and then all the way down to 3 here in terms of 1 and 2 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 4. And then we started to count this down. We got an extension in the 5th wave with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We looked at taking some profit yesterday at this point. We've obviously bounced off that trend line there for whatever that's worth. And this is where we need to be careful at this point. One of the things here from wave 2 down to wave 3 there, the 38.2% retracement level is here. So you could say we don't really want the 250, the medium level, to become the support, because if it became the support, then it's going to push higher, and then we won't have this as wave 4. So this is where we need to be careful. This little move up here so far is in 3 waves, if we look at it, as 1 here and 2 here, and then it looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here for the 3rd wave. So it's probably the 4th wave across here. So what's going to happen is that we're going to get a 5th wave up here. So if we get a 5th wave, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we should just label that, we can do that with this here. Probably need to lift it up 1 degree rather than these darker blue ones, but anyway, that's all cool for the time being, just to give us an idea. But what I'm doing here, though, is that means that we're going to get 5 waves. So that means we're also going to get another 3 waves back down into, well, the 50-60% retracement level, and then we're going to get another 5 waves up here, which can be the end of the ABC pattern. So that would need to go over there for that. And in that instance, we can look at this being the A wave here, the B wave here, and the C wave here. So, yeah, in this case, we expect it to trade back above the 250 here, but we don't really want it. We don't want it finding support. This probably, because the market's a bit bullish, it probably won't pull back as much as you think that it will. So it will probably just pull back to the wave 4s of 1 lesser degree in here. So I'll need to just shake that up a little bit. I think they'll all move when I close the program down. Some of them do, some of them don't. They'll get sort of squashed back towards the price. So we could end up with something like this. You know, so anyway, this is the risk of trading, and yeah. So it does appear that we're going to get that 5 little waves there. I mean, the wave of wave 4 of 1 lesser degree is further up here for this. You know, the thing that sort of haunts me a little bit here, I'll just go back and check to see if I've made a mistake somewhere. I can't see it. Well, I mean, we're still 1 wave short. That's what I'm trying to sort of figure out. Unless this wave B is over here somewhere in some sort of A, B, C, D, and E correction, and then that would put this low in place here. If you haven't taken any out here, then it's a good time to do it, because we're expecting the rest of the markets to be bullish, and that can move up a little bit higher at that point. I'm just going to put this wave E in here so I can yeah, because I remember this here having this extra wave here, you know, so it could certainly be, we could certainly have this low in here as wave C here. So if you haven't taken money off the table, then do that, okay? Take a good a good chunk at this point. I won't move the stop down until I've had a good look at this here, but it does appear that we're going to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, so it probably wouldn't hurt actually just to probably panicking a little bit here, but to take profit there as well. We'll leave that as an option at this point. Okay, so that's that, and Facebook, and so yeah, we've still got one more wave to the upside here. So it's possible to have a top in here if we put wave 4 over here like we've looked at before, but because we're thinking the market's bullish, then it sort of stands to reason that we're on the right track. So, and we expect wave 4 to be complicated, so let's go in and check on this. So yesterday we were talking about, I've filled in the dots, but yesterday we were talking about a larger wave 4 and looking for wave C to come down through here. So yeah, I think that low's possibly in place. So we've got here from wave 3 here, we've got an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave here for wave A, an A and a B, and 5 waves here for the C wave of B, and then 1 and 2 here. Now this is where it gets a little bit tricky. I've ignored the spike, and to my peril, and put wave 3 here with an A and a B and a C for wave 4 here and wave 5 here. So I'm calling that in the low. But the risk is that this move down from 2 here, this can be wave 1 and 2 here, and 3 here, and 4 here, and 5 here. So it's possible that this is just wave 3 here, and the market's going back up for wave 4. So if that was the case, if we have to include that spike, we need to go from there down to there, and we can see that the 38.2% retracement level is at the wave 4s of 1 lesser degree here, so that's all pretty sweet and rosy in there for that. So that means that just to be sure, if this level here becomes the support, then you know that the low is in place. Now obviously arriving here is going to be a bit of a hassle. So because trading is emotional, we tend to get very emotional, at these points. But that's where you've got to take a chill pill or light up or whatever, and just wait to get some clarity on this. And this is where the classic trading level pattern helps a lot, because you can just wait for something to become support, or you just need to visually see it. You don't need to understand Elliott in that regard. But yeah, also I'm putting this, I think the low's in place, so I'm just going to put this into grey, so that will just as an alternative count, so you'll just need to be a bit careful, because the 38.2% retracement level is this line here down at the 372. But yeah, so anyway, we'll see what comes there. So anyway, you can go long on top of that as a classic trading levels pattern here, because that's what will happen here. And you may need to migrate that. Well, this is all of group. There's a little group 2 in here when you come to the 8 here. So we're in minor group 2 at the moment, which is 65, 72, and 80. And just to let you know that this here is just the skeleton. There's a lot of other levels in here that are important, and they become important when you start working with a stock that where this space is quite big for this particular price at the moment, so yeah, but with the 8 here, that because it's number 8, there will be a group 2 within here as well. Okay, let's move along. So Tesla, okay, so we were looking for another move to the upside here. I think what's going to happen here, I don't think that Tesla's bullish. What I think will happen is that I think that we'll probably bang our heads on 800, we'll kick back, and then we'll get this here, and then we'll end up coming down at that point. Do you know what I mean? I don't think we'll get a full setup here. But I'm open-minded, and whatever. But yeah, but let's just let this move in up through here. Let's just take a closer look. So from this wave 4, we're looking for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 here. Pulled back just a tad more than I expected, but let me just clean up my mess here. So wave C of 4 sitting in there. Might just bring in a bit more data just here. So basically, we've got from wave 4 here, we've got wave 1 and 2 here, and then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 up here. And then yeah, we just didn't really get a good wave 4, wave 5 here, so we still had to wait for that wave 4. It hasn't even though it's sharp and it's come through my target area here, it hasn't overlapped wave 1 here, so I think it's all pretty good at this point. Can I look at it in any other way? No, even if I did, it still comes to the same conclusion. So we're on our way here. We just need to understand this count. So we want to be making new highs above this top here. So that's where we're heading up here to 800. Normally we'd see wave 3 come in around the top here. That's how it sort of play out normally. So wave 1 is probably further back down. I mean, obviously I can see that we could put that there, but I just don't know if that's good enough at this point. Not sure what that was, but doesn't matter. Don't need that. Don't need that one. 10, 20, and 30. It's all good. Midpoint. Yeah, I'll just leave that with you. I mean, basically, we'll just be heading higher from this point. It'll probably stall at, I'll take it from this wave B here. There will be, yeah, it's at the 61.8% there at the moment. So it's 743 roughly. So that's going to spend a little bit of time there for that. I'll just see if I can pull this apart a bit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We may end up with wave 1 just sitting up here actually as well. So we could look at this as 1 and 2 in here, and that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to there. So that's a nice little third wave in here, and this is 1 and 2, and then 1 and 2, and it's a building from that point. So yeah, there could be, if that's 1 and 2 and 3, there will be 4, 5, be something like this. If this is a wave 2, we'll see it pull back a bit deeper at that point, but we'll just see. There's no, I mean, it's fine to go long here, and the target's up here for that. I won't draw them in, but you can do your own thing. Alrighty, that's it. So I think, you know, the takeaway from here is that all of these stocks that we're looking at we're looking for wave 4s in them, in most of them, not all of them. Apple's a bit different, but we're looking for wave 4s. Some of them are still coming down into it, some are leading up out of it, so on and so on, but it's a pretty good case that we've got wave 4 across the board. That will mean in one way or another that the S&P and the NASDAQ would be the same. To a point they can be different, and other indices can be different, but in a way, we're really just looking for, you know, 5 waves up here. Now, Tesla will move quite quickly, where Google will move quite slowly. So let me find Alphabet again. So Alphabet here, it's, you know, it's not going to move. Tesla's going to get to 800 before this market gets to 3,000. So what we need to do with the indices and so on is try to find a balance between all of that, the turtle here and the hair of hair on Elon. Alrighty, okay, I'll leave it at that. Okay, cheers.